My friends, let's get another adventure started here today in Alabama, state number 10 of the 50-state shred. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama today, and you can't talk about Birmingham without talking about the American Civil Rights Movement. Even though the slaves were freed after the Civil War with the Emancipation Proclamation, it was 100 years of discrimination, segregation, violence against the African American people. The Civil Rights Movement began in the 1950s with Brown versus Board of Education, the Montgomery bus boycotts, and many other small wins and major losses along the way. It wasn't until 1963, Project Birmingham, when the Civil Rights Movement actually captured the attention of the American people. The campaign of peaceful protest and boycotting was organized by the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, including Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of America's greatest modern-day heroes. The peaceful protests and the boycotting, it really wasn't working. They were running out of volunteers, and then they enlisted college kids, high school kids, elementary school kids to take part in the peaceful protests. The city and the powers that be had had enough of the protests, so they unleashed attack dogs and hit the students with fire hoses. Those images are burned into the mind of every American, just how disgusting the injustice was. And those images are what helped galvanize the American people and turn the tide of the entire civil rights movement. The Birmingham Civil Rights Institute is a must-see if you're here in town. It was very interesting. I learned a lot. It's a reminder. We think we're so different now. We think we've come so far, but this was not that long ago. And as humans, we are always pulled towards darkness and subjugating people and being evil. And we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. If you haven't listened to the I Have a Dream speech in a long time, maybe since you were a kid in school, fire that thing up on YouTube, sit down and listen to it. And if you aren't moved by that, you're not human. All right, today's ride, not far from Birmingham, Alabama. I've got Steve and I've got Scott here, and they're gonna show me Oak Mountain. I've seen this place on Trailforks and I've heard a lot about it, so we're gonna try to get the most fun ride we can. We're doing a point-to-point, we're gonna do a little shuttle, we're doing a little cheating today. Nothing wrong with that. Sounds like it's been raining a lot out here, so hopefully the trails won't be too sloppy. Oh. like I'm gonna stay dry. I just thought maybe I would be able to ride that. So Steve said he moved here from Chicago 15 years ago and he really likes it. He said the Midwest's a little tough. 8 months a year, it's a little rough to ride. But down here, we're riding in February, no problem. A little cold, no big deal. Some clear water right there. He's in! This sign says 346-ton boulder slid 205 feet on the 10th of April, 2014. I wish there was signs like that everywhere. So I just want to know, like, oh, what was it? How did it happen? And it just gives you this idea that, whew, that thing must have made a noise. Steve said when he first moved to Alabama, he had to learn how to slow down. Coming from Chicago, he said he'd be in line at the grocery store and it was like a high school reunion. Hey, how's Jim doing? Hey, how's Bob doing? And he's behind him in line waiting. Come on. But he said after a while, you just learn to live with it and you slow down and you're like, why? What do I need to be in a rush for? Just enjoy it. So I think this Chicago boy has adapted to Southern living. Dropping in to West Ridge. I am still manually operating my dropper post, reaching between my legs to pull it back up. The cold and the muck have not been good to the KS Lev. Cool. Goofy lines. Spring is coming very, very soon. So that's why I'm not too worried about the van and it being cold and getting a big diesel heater mounted underneath it and spending $1,000. It's just, it'll be over soon and then it's going to be too hot. So then I'll have everyone in the comments talking about AC units and everything else. Wow, there's something different about being on top of this ridge right now. It is just so picturesque. The birds are chirping. Makes me very, very grateful to have you guys along for the ride. So many more adventures to come. And if you're ever interested in getting ahead, seeing the videos early, they're on Patreon. It's my little private membership club. For $3 a month, you support the channel and you can see extended cut videos. There's also videos that are normal length, but if you want to see longer version of this ride, maybe a 45-minute cut, it's on Patreon. Is this the trail? Yeah! Oh yeah, there's this one too. That was not enough speed to, that was definitely a funky, but I was fully committed, so I had to do it. Oh wow, yeah, this is perfect. This is like really good. I just got to get enough speed once again to get up it. Yes! Oh man, so much about getting pointed in the right direction, not really knowing what the right direction was. It's almost better that it's winter and all these leaves are gone, because you can see so much further off the ridge. It's pretty cool. Jekyll and Hyde. So Dr. Jekyll, I think that was the good guy, and Mr. Hyde was like the crazy guy. So I don't know which one we're on right now. A little bit of both. Whoa. Man, this side of the mountain is holding up really good. Only a couple puddles here and there. Nice and rocky. I did not see where that was going. Looks like we have a good opportunity to hurt ourselves here. Roll Tide. Not too bad, actually. It's just a lot of hesitation. Going too slow. Oh man, that's tight. Oh. Jekyll and Hyde continue. I get it now. So definitely crazy tough rocks and now smooth butter. Flat turn. This is Alabama's biggest state park. They have cabins and stuff you can rent. I think there's about 30 miles of trails out here. Jekyll and Hyde could have also been named Pain and Pleasure. Cool. My buddy Bill calls trails like this store-bought trails. I like that. It's machine cut. It's not supernatural. It's still fun, but there is something different to it. I don't hate it. A lot of people do. Very divisive. If it means more people riding bikes, then store-bought all you want. You may have noticed recently that I stopped responding to all the comments on YouTube. Almost 4 years of responding to every comment, and you guys finally broke me. I finally had enough. It was a good ride while it lasted. It was a big combination of things, but a lot of idiots coming in off the street for the van stuff. You know, those videos get so many views, which means so many idiots come in. Ooh. And then just so many people. When are you coming here? Hit me up when you're here. I don't know who you are. How will I hit you up when you come here? Send me an email. And then I just got so many emails. I'm just going through so many emails every day of invites from people that I really just didn't have the mental energy to do the comments and the emails. And now the emails have died down because I'm pretty much full. I've got invites from every single person, or from every single state. I've got at least 2 plans from every single state, so I'm pretty much set as far as that goes. It really came to a head when I was in the van one night and I was about to film a little thing. I was like, ooh, I should talk about this. And I second guessed myself because people were gonna call me stupid in the comments. And I was like, oh man, I cannot change who I am to pretend like I'm something else or avoid talking about something because people are gonna call me stupid in the comments. I built this whole channel by exposing myself, being lame, being stupid, being afraid of certain stuff, and being able to conquer all that stuff. So if it's a choice between reading the comments or doing my best work, exposing my ignorance and showing off how lame I am, I'm gonna continue to show off how lame I am, because I think that connects a lot deeper than trying to be perfect and polish this up into something that's fake. So Scott's in the front right now and Steve's up ahead of me. They grew up together in Chicago. Steve came out here for a job first, and then work dried up in Chicago, so Scott said, okay, I'm coming down. It was pretty cool to have high school buddies stick together. And Scott's only been mountain biking for about 8 months now. He started in July, and Steve was saying how impressed he is, how far Scott has come. And it took Steve so long to get to that point. I think that's the thing, when you ride with other people and you see the trails and you push yourself a little bit harder than maybe you want to, all of a sudden your skills go up. When me and my brother first started riding together all the time, it was just him and me. I could do certain things, he could do certain things. We would push each other, but we really didn't have any outside influences to show us how to get faster or what was actually possible. It didn't feel like a cheat day. I feel pretty knackered. After the ride, we headed over to a restaurant called Big Bad Breakfast. And of course, I ended up getting a burger, but it does have really good breakfast stuff. A chef that has a couple restaurants in Mississippi opened this one up in Alabama, and people love it and rave about it. Pretty good stuff. I have made my way to Vulcan Park. There is a giant 56-foot statue of Vulcan, the god of fire and steel, or steel and iron. The city of Birmingham was created out of thin air by land speculators in 1871, but it ended up being a huge hub of industry. It was like the Pittsburgh of the South. They were able to find iron ore in the ground, and it became a booming industrial zone. The Vulcan is the biggest cast iron statue in the world. It was made for the 1904 World's Fair. And then, about 90 years passed and it really got really funky. So they took it down, they restored it, and now it is back in action, better than ever. A really cool symbol lurking above the city, watching over it. He's got a hell of a pair of buns on him too. I came back to Oak Mountain and camped out here last night at the campground. $40 a night for dingy bathrooms and a shower and a parking spot. It was okay. I don't know. I almost would rather just sleep in the Walmart parking lot than pay $40 for okay accommodation. But I had to come back here because there's a couple trails that we didn't do yesterday that I've seen on Trailforks that look really legit and tough, and maybe it's dried out just a little bit more to actually get a good run on them. All right, Boulder Ridge. Cool. I hope it rolls. Okay, we got this. Then we got a trail over there, but I don't want to miss out if there's something cool up here. Okay, maybe not. Okay. It's only really wet at the bottom here, and by that point you let off the brakes and you just go, and this is a nice little landing down there. It's a pretty tough one, but I have a decent idea of what my bike is gonna do and how it's gonna react, as long as I can commit and point it in the right direction. So once I start rolling here, I really have to just go in, stick to the plan. Squamish of the South. Kia! In rock climbing, they call these problems. Everything they do is a problem. We don't have that in mountain biking so much, but this is definitely a problem. Oh. Stuffed big time. Put my wheel right there with all my weight and over the top. Problem unsolved. Oh, it's left. Oh God. Trying to turn the wheel left when you're completely pointed right, as a bug flies in your mouth. That's mountain biking. Oh God. Okay. Oh, I missed a little rock roll. I'm really hoping to find a lot of stuff like this as I make my travels. I've heard the Northeast has a lot of rock. So even if there's not a lot of elevation, like I think Trailforks says this is only 300 feet of climbing on this thing. That's awesome. As long as it's highly technical trails, you're still getting your money's worth because you're fighting it every second. Whoa. I spy with my little eye. Yeah. Another perfect wheel catcher. Oh, great googly moogly. Oh, it's the slab humongo. The runout's looking a little awkward because that little spot right there, you're gonna have too much speed, hit it and fly over. Let me make sure this thing has batteries before I do anything. Yeah, plenty of batteries. All right. I can't be out of control if I hit this spot because this stuff over here is very consequential. If you crash on this stuff, you're just kind of rolling around and you flip-flop and stuff. So the goal with this is to go so slow that there's no locking up, there's no loss of traction, because you're just going so slow. Oh, I couldn't commit. I couldn't commit with the slippering and the sliding. Oh. Yeah. Okay. God, there's so much momentum coming off of all of this. I don't think I'm going to be in control by the time I get back to the bottom. Yeah. This is a lot here. It's actually a lot more slippery than I'd like. That's all. I gave it a look. Maybe next time. This is brutal. No need to kill myself because I thought I had to do it. Yeah, it's just weird enough. Maybe if I had someone here to roll in ahead of me, but I still feel like I got some good wins along this trail already. I wonder if this is thunder now, if I'm on a different trail. I think so. I think it's very funny when I read comments and emails and ride with other people and I see other people's mindsets on stuff like that big rock roll, where for me, it's not gonna keep me up at night whatsoever that I wasn't able to do it. Like, there's no big deal, there's no ego that I couldn't do it. I wanna push myself, I wanna get better, but I do not lay awake at night. I've seen 100 like it and I'll see 100 more, and eventually I'll find a good line and I'll get down it and it'll be awesome. Yeah. This is pretty rocky. Yes. Oh, that was neat. Oh, chain came off again and it's like wedged in the bash guard. Man, I can't win. At least I didn't try to force it. Okay, this is lightning. We've got a drop at the end of this that I'm gonna take a look at. Man, that is like only a 2-foot drop. But when you're rolling up to it and you see it, you can't see anything. From here, it's a big nothing, but when you're on the trail, you're like, whoa. If you cannot ride the beginning filter, you should not continue down the trail. And now it's raining. Oh man, that is legit. That's funny, man. How drops are interesting. Wow. Yeah. Big old drop. Oh my goodness. Dang it. I had all that momentum. I couldn't look it in the eye. I was not committed. I'm escaping here without dying or getting really, really wet. I'm so glad I went out there and explored those other trails because that was awesome. You guys in Birmingham are very, very lucky to have this park because that is a ton of miles and a ton of different stuff. Very, very cool. I'm gonna keep moving though. Can't stay long. I've always got another place to go. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the trail.